Hi everybody. Today is answering the question day. Welcome to my first video on YouTube. My name is Rose. I challenge you to ask questions on my TikTok account. You guys were very shy. I had 2 questions only in this account, on the L Rose account on TikTok. And so I'm going to my main account and reply some questions from there. So we'll start with, my first question in my L Rose account on TikTok was from Starlight. She asked me, what do I do when I have a writer's block? I allow myself to completely F up. I just write everything that comes to my mind, little words, sentences, thoughts, random crap. Because the more you write down what you have inside of you, even if it's out of what you're writing, your story, it helps exercising your mind. That and clean my desk completely, just have the necessary in there, and read. Yeah, I think when I write, I don't write for myself. I write for the others. And if I'm not feeling it, I know that people won't feel it. So I don't force it. Being a writer it's not forcing an idea. It's to let it flow. So what do I do when I have a writer's block? I just write what comes to my mind. Crap. Sometimes I write the most idiotic stuff. But when I go back to my notes when I had the writer's block, I find really interesting, crazy stuff in there that I can actually transform and make it a complete sentence out of it. And maybe adding to my story or a new story. So I hope this answers your question, Star. Thank you so much. My next question comes from Grammy. Grammy asked me, how did I start cosplaying? It's interesting. I always like to dress up and create new characters in my life. And we do have Carnival that made us expand that fantasy. I don't know. I started really young. I always enjoyed the nerdy side of cosplaying. I used to go to Ren fairs where everybody used to dress up and just impersonate the character of the time. Shield Maiden, a Viking, a bard. So it comes from a long time, but I kind of forgot about that until I started TikTok again. And TikTok allowed me to feel creative. Bring some of my passions into cosplaying. And my favorite thing is to create new characters. And that's how I started. It's just started as a fantasy, as an idea, as a thought, as playing around with the others on a carnival, Ren fairs, little parties that we used to dress up, Halloween. And it helps my creativity to write. I hope this answered your question. Thank you, Grammy. So the next question comes from Creative Metalhead. And this was one of the best questions I was asked on TikTok. I really liked, because I don't think I ever had someone asking me this. And her question was, what is my favorite written villain? And it's Macbeth. Macbeth from Shakespeare. She is the brains behind the whole plot, the whole action that happens. She's evil, but she has an intensity and ambition that rivals her husband. Yes, I love Shakespeare. I do. And Macbeth, for me, is one of the best written villains ever. And she's a woman. Another good question that I get a lot in my life is, what made me download TikTok? I know I make a lot of jokes saying that it was emotional damage, but in some, it's quite true. I was heartbroken and I was bored. COVID striked. So like 80% of the people that are on TikTok today, I downloaded TikTok. I installed TikTok out of boredom because of this stupid virus that has been around. And it was the best thing ever. And then after that question, this was asked by Crazy Monzo. She asked me, what do I want most of life, out of life? I found it a really good question at the time. And then I still find it a really good question. What I want out of life is just the simple things. Just be happy, be healthy, and keep doing what I'm doing. I love writing. I love singing. I love meeting new people and new places. I decided that I wanted to be a full-time writer. And I hope that I can keep doing it for the rest of my days. I want to be able to wake up and breathe and enjoy life. That's what I want most of life. I just want to be able to be myself always, and transparent and honest with you. I like simple things. I'm a very simple person. And why not? Why not just enjoying life while we can, doing what we love? It's a bit cheesy, isn't it? But it's me. It's Rose. I'm a big goofball. So, yeah. One of the questions I got asked on TikTok on my Q&A last year was how my stories on TikTok affected my novel. This was actually asked by my real life brother. If you don't know, I wrote last year my first fantasy book in English, and my book was inspired by TikTok characters, by cosplayers, and real human beings. So how does my stories affect my novel, my cosplaying stories? It affected a lot. It was because of my storylines and other people's storylines that inspired me and sharpened my creativity to write. I was so inspired by so many people that the result was a book, and this book became 3. It's going to be a 3-book series, just because of cosplaying and people on the app called TikTok. So how my stories affected how cosplaying affected my novel? Immensely. Immensely. And I'm really proud to say that I made really good friends in the app. And I'm so grateful that everybody inspires me every day and keep inspiring me. That was a really good question. So one of the questions that I've been asked a lot on TikTok is when I started writing. I started writing when I was really young. I used to write down my thoughts and then I started writing poetry. From poetry I started writing short stories, little romances. When people ask me when I start writing, the following question is, where do you get inspiration for writing? And my answer is very simple. Just look what is surrounding you. Everything inspires me. Everything inspires me. From the moment I wake up, that first sound I hear, from the smell of the coffee in the morning. I know it sounds really cliche, but that's how my brain works. I find beauty in everything. I find beauty in pain, in sadness, in happiness, in love. I find inspiration on everything. And I don't force myself to write. When my mind says, sit down and write, I'll write. No matter where I am. That's why I always walk with a pen and a notepad in my pocket, or just loose sheets. It's very cliche, but that's me. I started writing really early, and poetry for me is it's giving so much of your own self to others. And when I write for others. I don't write for myself. That's the thing that I pay attention to. It's just fascinating. Everything that surrounds you, life itself, should be an inspiration for anything. So yeah, that's when I start writing. Really young age. Just started by putting some thoughts in paper. I used to listen to music and write down the lyrics. And I love words. I love what words can do to you when you read them. I hope you enjoyed the answer. So this was my first video for today. My first video on YouTube that I actually talk with y'all. I hope you like it. I know quality on video is not the best, or the audio, but I'm working on it. You'll find my TikTok link below. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you like it. You can find my merch on my link tree and my book for Lay. This is the first book. It's a fantasy book that I keep talking, that was inspired by a lot of cosplayers, which I'm very grateful. You can find it on Amazon. You have the ebook version. Working on the Audible book. Still working on that. But slowly we get to where we want to be. I'm Rose. Nice to meet you. I'm Portuguese. That's why my English is not that perfect. And I hope you understood everything I said. And I hope to see you around more often. And have a good day. Keep yourselves hydrated. And keep yourself safe. Stay blessed. A lot of love. Till next time.